Welcome back to Houston Life. Our next guest made it her mission to return homeless heirlooms to the families who may have lost or abandoned them. Here with her story, please welcome Houston orphaned heirloom lady, Janet Foster. Hi, Janet.
Hi.
This is so cool, and I love that it's part of the theme of preserving Houston's history. I think a lot of people want to reconnect with their roots, and the way you help them is really kind of remarkable. So tell us exactly how you go about collecting these treasures.
Well, these treasures really find me. I am a history buff and a genealogy buff, and through that I developed a strong affection for things that are of genealogical value. I never really seem to find these items when I go out searching for them. They find me when I hit a random estate sale, and I just can't leave them there. And
is that primarily where you're finding these items? You're going to estate sales and looking through stuff?
I go to estate sales because, of course, I love everything vintage. So
I can see by the way you're dressed. Nicely done, by the way.
And I go to the bookshelves, and the first items that I bought, I was looking at a bookshelf hoping to find a first edition of Lord of the Rings. It wasn't there.
Okay.
But I found a Bible that had the cover coming off of it. It looked so old and delicate, I had to open it up and look at it. And the more I looked through the bookshelf, the more Bibles I found that all came from the same family. And I knew that once the sale was closed, that those items would be in a trash bin.
Yeah.
So I bought them, for $1.25 and took them home, and was not initially able to find the family, but just here in the last 6 months or so, I did manage to find the family.
And how do you go about doing that? Do you go online and post?
Mm-hmm. I use a lot of Ancestry.com.
Oh, we do too. We're getting our DNA results from them soon.
FamilySearch.org is another excellent resource for people who are trying to do their genealogical tree. And, those things sat in boxes for years because I couldn't find anybody. And then I thought, okay, I have to clear out the stuff. So I started putting the things on Facebook and made the Facebook page, and have been able to find some of these ancestors, these younger ancestors, through Facebook, and then make the connection and able to return the items.
And we sort of briefly touched on this at the top of the segment, that knowing where you come from sort of helps you know who you are and where you're going. I was raised Mormon, and we had, in Salt Lake City, they have a big genealogy center there. So these artifacts are really, they're not just letters. These are family history items. So why don't we start going through some? Actually, I'm not going to touch them. Why don't you touch them? This is the Bible here, right?
This is the family that I would most dearest love to find. This Bible was very well used by this woman, and her name was Lila, L-E-I-L-A, Watson Wilson.
And so this was her Bible, but this is a box of family letters?
These are boxes, this box contains tons of letters and artifacts from her son when he was stationed overseas in South Pacific, and his wife. So this is their love story. This is their life through a span of 10 years or so when he was in the service.
So, and once you find these families, though, because a lot of the people, the recipient of these letters, the person who wrote these letters, probably has passed away at this point. So how do you go about reconnecting these items with families who may not even know that they're lost?
Well, I hope that I can do that with these here today, because I have hit a dead end on researching this tree. I can find no one younger. So if anyone watching is a descendant of Layla Watson Wilson,
get in touch with
me through my Facebook page. I would love to send these items home. There's so much history here.
Well, also, I want to point out some of the really creative ways you have showcased some of these old photographs and letters.
Preservation is really important, especially with paper items. Newspaper clippings, photographs, postcards. Most people put them in cardboard boxes.
Or in a plastic, storage bin, right?
Plastic storage bins. And those are not really suitable. They will age the items, yellow the items, and sometimes fade the ink.
Oh, wow.
So it's better to use acid-free containers and acid-free paper that you can order offline.
Okay.
And use that. And for instance, this case, we've got acid-free paper with the photograph in an airtight container.
Oh, so the airtightness plays a role as well.
It does with the pictures. It helps preserve them.
This is such a cool idea, putting them in a mason jar, or even this smaller glass jar you've brought along. It's sort of like message in a bottle, but it's a photograph in a bottle. Let's talk about this cool pillow you have. What's the story behind that?
Well, the pillow is very special because I recently lost my father, and this was one of his shirts. And so I made a pillow, and it sits on my couch. So Dad's with me all the time.
That is so cool, and you can give him a hug.
I can, anytime I want.
I love that. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm sorry
very
about the
glad
loss
to be
of
here.
your father.
Thank you.
I think it's really cool what you're doing, and hopefully some of these items can be reunited with their rightful owners.
Well, if we have just 2 more seconds, these are some other people that I'm looking for. If anyone recognizes
that
these
photo.
children.
Okay. And we can post those on our Facebook page later today as well. So if you or someone you know is looking for